good evening, and welcome to Sky Tonight. The moon is in the waxing gibbous phase tonight, with 73% illumination. Look for it in the eastern sky after sunset. Viewers are invited to enable captions in their preferred language to see local observing cities and their corresponding times. Join me for a guided tour of tonight's entire sky, from horizon to horizon, highlighting the constellations, planets, and celestial events visible this evening. We'll start with Venus shining brightly in the west, then move to Arcturus overhead, the Hercules cluster near Vega, and finish evening viewing with Hamal in the east. Later at night, we'll watch Saturn glow beside the blinking planetary nebula, catch Altair in the south, and look for Deneb and Mars rising. Toward morning, we'll scan for southern Delta Aquariids meteors, spot Mercury low before dawn, and end with the Andromeda Galaxy if it's clear. The Hercules cluster is best with binoculars, and the blinking planetary nebula needs a telescope. We'll close tonight's tour with a look at satellite crossings of the moon, promising 6 passes to watch as we wrap up. Venus shines as the second brightest object in the sky tonight after the moon. Look for it low in the south as a dazzling silver-white point. It's easy to spot because it outshines every star around it. This is a great time to find Venus because it's near its greatest elongation from the sun. The earliest view belongs to Los Angeles at 8:30 in the evening. London waits until 9:45 in the evening, with New York in between at 8:55 in the evening. Arcturus is the warm amber-colored star high in the south. To find it, follow the curve of the Big Dipper's handle until you reach this bright orange giant. It's one of the brightest stars in the sky and easy to spot with the naked eye. It climbs highest in Los Angeles at 8:30 in the evening, then the best moment moves to New York at 8:55 in the evening and on to London at 9:45 in the evening. The 1933 Arcturus event was one of the first examples on such a scale of combining astronomy with electrical and telecommunications engineering. The star's light literally flipped the switch, lighting up thousands of lamps at the exposition grounds. The Hercules cluster is a soft white globular cluster located on the western side of the keystone of Hercules. Use binoculars to see it as a dim fuzzball. It's high overhead tonight, and one of the finest northern globular clusters visible in the summer sky. Los Angeles and New York reach their best view around 9:30 in the evening, while London peaks separately at 9:45 in the evening. The cluster spans approximately 145 light-years in diameter, making it one of the largest globular clusters visible from the northern hemisphere. Vega is the bright blue-white star almost straight overhead tonight. It's one corner of the well-known summer triangle. Look up during the evening and you'll see Vega shining brightly, a key star in the constellation Lyra. Los Angeles, New York, and London all reach their best view around 11:25 in the evening, with London remaining above the horizon all night. Due to the precession of Earth's axis, Vega was the pole star about 12,000 years ago. It will become the pole star again in about 12,000 years, when Earth's axis once more points in its direction. Hamal is the brightest star in Aries and is rising from the eastern horizon. To locate it, follow the chain from Meerut through Sheraton, which leads directly to Hamal. It's a bright point of light low in the east and part of the 50 brightest stars in the sky. In Los Angeles at 11:43 in the evening, the prime view sweeps eastward, reaching New York by 11:27 in the evening and London by 10:48 in the evening. In 2011, as part of the Japanese Okayama Planet Search Program, the discovery of an extrasolar planet candidate orbiting Hamal, designated Hamal B, was announced. The discovery was based on 678 radial velocity measurements collected between November 2003 and February 2010 using an Echelle spectrograph at Bohjansen Observatory. Saturn rises tonight as a steady golden point near the eastern horizon. Look in Pisces for this distant planet. It's visible to the naked eye and will be a rewarding sight once it climbs a little higher in the sky. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see the planet rise around 11:35 in the evening. It takes Saturn approximately 29.5 Earth years to complete one full orbit around the Sun, meaning a single Saturnian year is longer than the average human lifespan. The blinking planetary nebula is a small blue-green disk located in the constellation Cygnus. To find it, look at the northern wing of Cygnus and use a telescope. When you look slightly away from the central star, the nebula seems to blink into view. Los Angeles, New York, and London all reach their best view around 12:35 after midnight, with New York and London remaining above the horizon all night. Altair is the bright white heart of Aquila, the eagle. It's the low corner of the summer triangle, flanked by two fainter stars. Look high in the south to see it shining brightly tonight. Los Angeles, New York, and London all reached their best view around 12:40 after midnight. Altair was one of the first stars for which the shape of the disk was directly measured using optical interferometry. This confirmed theoretical predictions about rapidly rotating stars. The Alpha Capricornids meteor shower is active tonight, building up to its peak on July 30. Look partway up the southern sky to see meteors streaking from this point in Capricornus. You might spot a few per hour, with longer trails visible away from the radiant. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see the radiant reach its best position around 1:20 in the morning. Deneb is the blue-white star at the top of the Northern Cross and one corner of the Summer Triangle. It's almost straight overhead tonight and marks the tail of the swan in the constellation Cygnus. Los Angeles, New York, and London all reach their best view around 1:30 in the morning, with London remaining above the horizon all night. Deneb is one of the stars constantly visible in the Northern Hemisphere sky for most of the year. It is an important reference point for sky observers and astrophotographers photographing the nebula-rich area of the Milky Way and the constellation Cygnus. Mars rises tonight as an orange-red point near the eastern horizon in Taurus. Look low in the east to find it. It's visible to the naked eye and will be joined later by other planets and stars as the night progresses. In Los Angeles at 2:42 in the morning, the prime view sweeps eastward, reaching New York by 2:27 in the morning and London by 1:50 in the morning. Evidence suggests that Mars once had liquid water on its surface, including ancient riverbeds and what may have been a massive ocean, raising the possibility that microbial life may have existed there. The first Phobos crossing of Mars' apparent disk lasts 54 minutes. Los Angeles and New York are in daylight or twilight. London sees Mars below the horizon. The first and only Deimos crossing of Mars' apparent disk lasts 82 minutes. Los Angeles is in daylight or twilight. New York and London see Mars below the horizon. The next Phobos crossing of Mars' apparent disk lasts 54 minutes. London observes it from 3:26 in the morning to 4:20 in the morning. Los Angeles and New York see Mars below the horizon. The Southern Delta Aquariids meteor shower is active tonight, building toward its peak on July 30. Look partway up the southern sky to see meteors streaking from this point in Aquarius. You may see about 4 per hour, with longer trails visible when looking slightly away from the radiant. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see the radiant reach its best position around 3:30 in the morning. Mercury rises tonight near the eastern horizon in Gemini. Look low in the east to spot this small planet. It's visible to the naked eye, but best viewed after full darkness sets in. In Los Angeles, it rises at 4:59 in the morning, while New York and London follow at 4:48 in the morning and 4:21 in the morning. The Andromeda Galaxy is our closest large galactic neighbor, more than 2 million light-years away. To find it, start at the corner of the Great Square of Pegasus and follow 2 stars to a faint oval smudge. It's almost straight overhead tonight and visible to the naked eye under dark skies. 5:25 in the morning is the moment in Los Angeles. New York gets its turn at 5:05 in the morning, and London peaks at 4:25 in the morning, remaining above the horizon all night. The Andromeda Galaxy contains roughly the same number of planets as stars, suggesting there could be a trillion planetary systems scattered throughout this vast galactic structure. The Perseids meteor shower is active tonight, building toward its peak on August 12. Look high in the north to see meteors streaking from this point in Perseus. You may see about 6 per hour, with longer trails visible when looking slightly away from the radiant. Los Angeles reaches the earliest best view at 5:25 in the morning, followed by New York at 5:05 in the morning, with London peaking last at 4:25 in the morning, all three keeping the radiant above the horizon all night. The Hubble Space Telescope crosses the Moon's disk tonight along a narrow ground path running from over the open Atlantic at 7:34 in the evening to near Caceres at 1:45 in the morning. An observer standing on this path sees the crossing last only about 1 second. The next crossing of the night involves the Tiangong Space Station, with its ground path running from near Culm at 7:42 in the evening to west of Loa Janan at 11:27 in the evening. The Tiangong Space Station crosses the Moon again tonight along a ground path from near Kalamata at 9:17 in the evening to over the open Indian Ocean at 11:31 in the evening. The fourth crossing of the night features the International Space Station, with its narrow ground path extending from northeast of Costane at 10:22 in the evening to over the open Indian Ocean at 12:36 after midnight. The International Space Station crosses the Moon again, tracing a ground path from north of Kossalin at 10:27 in the evening to over the open Indian Ocean at 1:44 in the morning. The final crossing of the night is the International Space Station, following a narrow ground path from near Abakan at 10:49 in the evening to over the open Pacific at 12:02 after midnight. A total solar eclipse is coming soon. Follow for details. Subscribe now for tomorrow night's guide and clear skies.